Hello fellow brawlers, I'm KairosTime and it is time to brawl. Today we've got the community post roundtable version 2. This is going to be fantastic. Not version 2, this is number 2. I don't know, series episode 2. And we've got some fantastic guests on the channel to help me out with this. First of all, we've got Lex. How are you doing today, Lex?
Beautiful as always. Now, I'm excited to sit here and talk about all the stuff that the community, their ideas, and see what we have in store here.
Absolutely. And then we also have Trickshot. How are you doing, Trickshot?
I'm doing pretty well. I hope this will go well.
You're confidence. Like, we're gonna discuss auto aim. I hope this goes well.
Yeah, I might have to blur out my name from the video, guys, if it's going on the sub. I'm just letting you know right now.
This is gonna be great. Okay, so for those of you guys that don't know what we did, basically we posted on the subreddit 4 different questions. Okay, first of all, how would you improve the controls in landscape mode? What keeps you playing Brawl Stars? How would you improve the progression of Brawl Stars? And if you could add a new feature into Brawl Stars, what would it be? Then we had the community basically flood this post with responses, and then everybody blindly voted for the best comments, and we're going to be going over the top 3 best comments or most voted for comments on in response to each of these 4 questions. And yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. Now, a lot of these posts actually had a lot of depth to them, and so I'm gonna be linking all of the posts in the description of the video, so make sure you check that out, because I am going to be paraphrasing some of the things that some of the people said. Okay, first of all, how would you improve controls in landscape mode? Number 1 response was by QShift3R, and he says, bring back tap to move and tap to shoot, and also delete auto aim definitely. Okay, so we'll talk about auto aim after we go over these 3 responses, because all 3 of them mention auto aim. But let's just talk about controls in landscape mode for now. Lex, what do you think about this? Bringing back tap to move and tap to shoot.
It sounds like we have about as good a chance as that happened as the dinosaurs coming back, unless we know some Jurassic Park that's happening around here. I don't know, but no, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to see both of those things, because to me, options are always good, but I don't think we're going to see either one of those. I mean, of those 2, if I had to pick, I'd love to have tap to shoot. As awkward as it may be on a landscape device, I would at least like to try it, because I don't know, but I mean, I definitely am in that camp, but I just don't know if we're ever going to see that.
What do you think, Trickshot?
Well, I definitely think that, looking over the subreddit the past few weeks, which has been great, they definitely think that tap to move and tap to shoot should come back, but, more of the in-depth posts that look at the control schemes of mobile games, especially in landscape, I think that more reality would probably be tap to shoot, not really tap to move, because on landscape, tapping to move might be a little bit too crowded trying to shoot and combine everything together. But I definitely have a little bit of faith in the Brawl Stars team into what they can put into controls there for sure. But I used to be a tap player. I never played with joystick back in the day. So
you admitted that?
Yeah, I admitted that. I'm gonna be open about it.
Wow.
I used to play tap, so I'm still a fan of tap, and I want it back somehow. I want it back.
You were unwillingly converted over to joystick, right?
Yeah, they forced me over.
Yeah, it's interesting. I definitely think, if anything, the current controls need to be optimized. And I'm kind of with you, Lex. I think that if they bring tap to shoot back, even if it's not optimal for landscape, I honestly would prefer it. I really think that I would. Even if my hand is covering half the screen 100% of the time, I think I would prefer it over tap to, or joystick to shoot. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Let's go ahead and go on to question number 2. XXDSunXX says, I would start by removing auto aim, and unfortunately tap movement and the old aiming methods might not work as well in landscape, although it would be nice to have these options at least. And then he also says joystick settings like size, sensitivity, where they are locked in place, locations, etc. should be editable, and they have to have, if they have to stick with landscape is basically what he says. What do you think about that comment right there? We kind of touched on the first parts there, Trickshot.
Well, I definitely like the last part with the joystick settings. I think that if this control scheme is to stay, we could definitely use a lot more customization in it. So, changing the size, the sensitivity, because different players will have different, wants, and especially if this game wants to get competitive, having, different sensitivities for different players would be, pretty essential. So I think changing the size and sensitivity would be, pretty awesome. And same thing with the lock joystick. I feel like that's something that's missing.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, because no two people are the same, right? I mean, look, I'm fat, Kairos is skinny. We all are different. So, I mean, why not be able to customize our controls to what suits us the best? I don't see.
I like big buttons and I cannot lie.
Not that a joke again.
Oh, yeah. I had to put it in. I had to.
But yeah, I mean, why not? I think that should be absolutely done because we, like I said, we're all different. We should be able to customize our controls at what suits us as a person the best.
Yeah, not only that, but I mean, if they're going to be introducing this to Android has a myriad of totally different screen aspect ratios and sizes and whatnot and whatever for all sorts of different devices that are out there. I mean, right now we just have iPad and iPhone, and that's just basically they just have to worry about 2 aspect ratios. This is going to allow this, like the settings or options would allow customer players to customize it to their own preferences and also to the preference of their device, and that takes a huge load off of Supercell, in my opinion.
Sure, yeah. Much less work that they have to do if we're the ones who's customizing it for ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the third response, this was actually a really great one. So Consti Y says, I would let players adjust the sensitivity and position and the size of the joystick in the settings menu, like games of like Rules of Survival. On iPad, it's impossible to use Piper's Super backwards. I think they're already working on fixing this issue. He also suggests removing auto aim. Please remove this feature, at least in game rooms or and above certain trophies. He also says fix the issue that some players are having, which they cannot attack with the left joystick. Or cannot move with the left joystick. Throwers are really bad right now. They need tap to attack back or slide to attack. The same that used to be tap to move that had. And then also, I know they're getting to this, but please bring back tap to move.
I think he wants tap back.
Wait, does the community want tap back? Is that what we're figuring out right here? I'm just kidding. What do you think of this response here, Lex?
There's one thing right on there that we haven't really talked about specifically, and that's, with the super joystick, especially on iPad like myself, yeah, you can't use your the super joystick fully back to its full range, which is pretty awkward and can, leave you in a bad spot sometimes. So surely they're aware of that. I'm sure they're going to be able to fix that. But yeah, so auto aim, I mean, do you want me to go get my soapbox now, or...
Oh no!
I think both you and I have gotten on our soapboxes.
Yeah.
Just very quick, what do you think needs to happen with auto aim?
Quickly is that it needs to be nerfed and heavily so that people aren't reliant upon it too far into the game.
Yeah. What do you think, Trickshot?
Well, auto aim, I've definitely seen a good amount of feedback on auto aim.
One or two posts.
Yeah, a few.
For those of you guys that don't know, Trickshot is one of the moderators on the subreddit. So what, you look at like 90% of the posts that are put on there or something like that?
Yeah.
Maybe not 90%, but a lot of them.
Yeah, it's about right.
Okay, sorry, go on.
So, I mean, with auto aim, it's definitely interesting because I think auto aim is good for a few brawlers, maybe like Piper, but not this crazy of auto aim for Piper. But things like Colt and Rico definitely do well with it. But when you have a brawler like Bull and Shelly, I used to miss those moments in Showdown where you would both get so nervous that someone would miss their shot in a fight completely.
Yeah.
Because they were using tap or whatever the old movement was. And I think those, it shows skill later on. And the auto aim kind of gets rid of that, where you're just tapping a button. So I think there has to be some definite nerfs, maybe a delay or a cooldown in between pressing it, or restricting it on level. Something needs to happen, and I hope that something is in the works on auto aim, because it's probably the biggest topic or the most active topic I see on Reddit.
Yeah, so what you were just saying about that situation where you're in Showdown at the very end, I wouldn't know. I don't play Showdown very much, but I know what you're talking about, and quite simply, that's the excitement and the depth of the game, and auto aim really destroys that aspect of Brawl Stars, which is really unfortunate to me because Brawl Stars was deceptively a very deep game, and when all you're doing is relying on one button a vast majority of the time, it really takes away a lot of that depth, which is, I don't know, Brawl Stars is, like I said, a very deceptively deep game, and that just really destroys a lot of that depth.
Totally agree.
Yep. No, I 100% agree with you. I think it's really a great thing. I think that the game needs something to make it easier for new and casual players to get into the game. But very soon after they actually get invested a little bit into the game, they need to start moving away from something like auto-aim and start learning. And right now, auto-aim is the #1 strategy through 90% of gameplay.
There's no incentive not to use it.
Exactly. It's extremely, it's too powerful and
too easy to
I think Supercell kind of full swing went backward. They were very much catering to a very specific dedicated audience, and then they went all the way to catering towards these brand new players. And I think that they've already said they're working on a nerf. That they're already testing out ways. I think that next step is to get a good swing a little bit more towards the middle, where new players can still use something to get into the game, but also so the game doesn't get boring. Because right now, I mean, I'm getting off my soapbox. I could talk about this for literally the next half an hour, and I'm not joking. Okay, I'm done. I really could keep going. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to question number 2. First of all, what keeps you playing in Brawl Stars? We're going to send this over to you, Trickshot. This is JMoneyBS's comment. He says, I think the only thing that has kept me going this far is the community. What do you think about that there, Trickshot?
Well, I definitely agree with that, for sure, the community. And I want to bring like a little aspect I don't see in the others. It's like the social potential for it is what really keeps me playing. And a lot of Redditors have brought this up, is the fact that, with every other Supercell game, it always used to be just you were playing and no one else at the same time, or recently with Clash Royale where 2 of you were playing. And I think the 2v2s for me have been one of the biggest things before Brawl Stars came out, where now you have 3 of your friends, all you can sit in a room and play together and have a great time. So I think that's what really kept me playing, was I could meet up with 3 of my friends or 2 of my friends and we could play, or sometimes I could even meet up with 9 of my friends and we could play a big game room. So I think that's what definitely has me playing. And the community, of course, like the subreddit and Discord, while at times they might get riled up just a little bit.
Because they care.
Yeah, because they care. I think that the community is really valuable. And that's what will keep the game going forever, is the community behind any game is what creates longevity behind a game. So I think it's good that people like their community.
Absolutely. What do you think, Lex?
No need for me to comment. He said it all.
Yeah, it's very well done, man. Next comment or next question or response from BulmX847. He says, the nostalgia of the game. This was by far my favorite game ever, and just to abandon it would suck. He also says the hope that it will get better. Despite past mistakes Supercell has made, I do believe the dev team wants this game to do well, as do I. So I hope they'll continue to improve it. And then also he says the competitive side. I love this game and would love to be able to compete in competitive events. Do you want to talk about that, Lex?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you guys realized or not, but my username is BOLMX847. No, I'm just joking. But he pretty much nails what my feelings of what would be right now. That's how I would answer the question, because I do feel that the game is in a little bit of a precarious position at the moment, but I do have faith in the team. I do hope that it will get better. I trust that it will. And the competitive side, I would love to see how that all fleshes out in the future. Right now, we're really not in that spot, but I think that it will be in the future once we get a few things that are out of whack right now back in line.
Yeah, Trickshot.
I mean, I agree with what Lex said. It was just that we're kind of a weird place, like Lex said, and I think that everything that BOLM says here is definitely something that keeps people coming back, and the fact that they really want it to get better, and they see a future in where they log on to Brawl Stars and they're playing almost 24/7, because sure, that's what we all want.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add. It's really fantastic comment right there. Mac Antonio says, for me, the strategic depth is what makes Brawl Stars so much fun. First of all, the mental game, the team super management, flanking, team or timing fight initiation, team composition, the excellent and dedicated to the community as well, and also the variety of game modes, characters, and play styles, and expand the overall strategy of the game. I think I'm going to take this one really fast, if that's okay with you guys.
Sure.
First of all, I just want to talk about how, first of all, that depth is absolutely amazing. I think we've all loved that depth of Brawl Stars.
He described it right there.
And I think that's why... Yeah, I think that's why a lot of the community is frustrated with the lack of depth right now, because we know how amazing it was and we just want to be back right there. but also that variety of those game modes, characters, and playstyles is really fun. No other game, like even other MOBAs, they basically have one primary game mode, and then all the other side game modes are just like additional fun fluff. Exactly. Whereas Brawl Stars is very much like you're always playing something new, and it's always new and exciting. You're always playing around with different brawlers and team compositions and things like that. That makes the game extremely fun for me. Yeah, that's my comment on that. What do you think, Lex?
Yeah, I especially like you said, the first section of his comment absolutely described the depth that Brawl Stars is. You wouldn't think about that just looking at it like, oh, it's just a bunch of guys running around shooting each other, but there's a lot more to it, and
that's what it's like when you and I are playing.
There's a bunch of guys running around shooting the walls. That's what it's like when we're playing. Let's be real.
That's right.
But I do also like the last part of his comment, because that's one of the things that keeps me coming back to, is knowing that there's going to be new game modes, new brawlers, and all that stuff is coming. It may not come right now because we're still in beta, and they're probably going to hold off on some of that stuff until global launch, if and when that happens. But that is definitely part of what helps me coming back to the game as well. Yeah,
Trick Shot?
I definitely agree with that. When I first started playing Brawl Stars, the one game I really compared it to, I know most people don't compare it to this, but I used to play a lot of Overwatch. I still play a lot of Overwatch. I love Overwatch. And what he describes in the strategic depth is the same thing that makes Overwatch an incredible game. And I feel like when I first started playing Brawl Stars, it was like playing Overwatch on my phone, and it was fantastic. And it was, team compositions are make or break. If your two friends are trying to mess around, they come in with, I don't know, what's two horrible brawlers?
Mortis on Heist.
Yeah, Mortis on Heist, and they come in with...
or right now, ever, on any map.
Wait, Mortis isn't good on Heist?
I don't know if you didn't realize this, Lex, but he is not good on Heist.
Sorry, we just completely bamboozled you there.
We just took your comment.
Good. I mean, you had to take over. I'm not.
Go on, Trick Shot.
But yeah, I definitely think that everything you list there in the depth is just. It's what makes Brawl Stars on mobile, and there isn't anything in which there's this much, just concentration into those specific things, because you have to consider team comp, flanking, the timing and fight initiative, everything like that. Yeah. And he also goes on to say the variety of game modes. I think that's something that's key to Brawl Stars, and that's what will keep it going for a long time when we do go to global.
Let's go ahead and move on to the third question here. How would you improve the progression of Brawl Stars? JC7- says, I would like to see something that is unattainable in the game until a certain level of trophy limit is reached. We currently have icons and badges, but I would like to see something like new maps and skins where you reach a higher part of the game, and then obviously those parts are unlocked at that part of the game. What do you think about this, Trick Shot?
I mean, this for sure should be something that comes in, if not before global, but maybe after. This is, what keeps players playing for a long time. I think that something unattainable, I can't really put my finger on it, what I want it to be. Maybe something like, you get more skins unlocked to be purchased at a certain level, or, you get additional features, something like that. But maybe Lex has more ideas. I'm not sure.
Well, I'm full of ideas. However, this is one of those ones where he's talking about carrots on the stick, right? You want people to keep coming back, and you have to have something out there to push them forward. And currently, there's really nothing like that in Brawl Stars. So I think that's something that the dev team, I'm sure they've already thought about it and looked into it, but it's definitely worth some more consideration.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like the idea of skins that you cannot get until you reach a certain point. I love that idea. I think that'd be a ton of fun. Like, I would play really hard to get a brawler to max like 500 trophies just to get a special skin and show that off to people. Be like, okay, I'm gonna stop. Let's move on to the second. The Golden Mortis.
Yeah.
Who is still really awful at heist.
He's a gold digger.
He's a gold. Can you dig it? That's right. Next comment is from Boom Sling, and he says, I'd increase season rewards and make challenges or events that you can get skins from. What do you think, Lex?
Yes, my man Boomslang. That is what I'm talking about. I would love to see, I've talked about it before in videos with other people, with the devs, that I would love to see some sort of special events, that you compete in, and you can only get special skins from these events, or even if it's like a league system where you compete in these leagues, and one of the rewards at the end is a special skin that you can only get by, participating in that and doing well in it. That way, again, this is going back to the carrot on the stick. This is going to push people towards some kind of goal. And this isn't a goal that's going to be like, all right, so now that I've won this, I'm instantly better than all of you, only in looks, just like Lex. That's what, it's not going to make you stronger. It just makes you cooler, and I know people would grind like heck for special skins. I know I would.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What do you think, Trickshot?
I definitely agree. I'd grind for some nice looking skins because now I don't have a lot of skins. I'm pretty cheap with my gems. I try to hold them for something special that'll come up, but nothing ever comes up. I only have like
Colt,
10 gems.
do you have the Colt Rockstar skin?
No, I don't. Now you reminded me.
That's
now
the one
I
you
want it
need.
again.
That one's OP.
That's right. Cool. So comment or response number 3 set from XX-D-Sun-XX says a far better tutorial that allows you to try every game mode and gives you access to Dynamite, Nita, Colt, and El Primo just in the tutorial itself. Then at the end you get to pick one with Shelly. That would make players more familiar with how the main classes of characters work and give you a choice as to what playstyle you like best. What do you think, Trickshot?
I've been saying something like this for a while since I ever played the first tutorial because the first tutorial is so short. It doesn't tell you anything about Brawl Stars other than here you can swipe up and shoot this brawler and then use auto aim for a little bit. That's the current tutorial for us. But this is different than what I first imagined or thought of in the tutorial. In the first part, I wanted to maybe have one of the throwers, one of the melee brawlers, and then one of the ranged brawlers. So something like Colt, Dynamite, and maybe Shelly. Something like that, all available, and then once you complete the tutorial, you unlock all 3 of those. I think that would be something really cool, so you can learn all the different types of brawlers there is. But this one where you play with 4 different ones, and then you get to pick another one might be another good choice, because you don't give players 3 brawlers, you give them 2, but they still experience 4. So I think that's also a pretty good idea. The tutorial definitely has to be improved. Sorry, Lex.
No, you're fine. I absolutely... I mean, I don't know what the specifics of what this tutorial would look like. I mean, he laid out one possible scenario. What I do know is that the tutorial needs to be definitely improved because it is severely lacking right now. And I think that, oh man, this is going to make me sad a little bit, but I think that the tutorial is one of those things that could have been done a long time ago that would have helped player retention. But I think the purpose of the tutorial itself is that you want to, get people introduced to the game, let them know how to play, get them familiar with the controls so that they understand all that. But secondly, and just as importantly, when they finish that tutorial, you want them to have a sense of both accomplishment and a sense of, this is really cool, I want to continue on. I'm invested a little bit already. And currently, we don't have any sort of thing like that.
Yeah, I think right now, when players very first jump into the game, not only is there a lot of, Brawl Stars specifically told us that new players thought the controls were confusing. And so a tutorial would definitely do a great job at helping people get better at the controls without them having to just figure it out. But also, right now, there is a massive lack of depth to the game, or a lack of content when you very first start out. Yeah. You have one brawler, and you have one game mode.
Yeah.
Yep.
And half the time that's bounty. And I don't know about you guys, but I like bounty least out of all of the game modes right now. I mean, I know Lex doesn't like Showdown, but I love Showdown, and I really don't like
right
bounty.
Up there too.
Yeah, see, but you get what I'm saying. There's
Everybody's
one
different.
game mode.
Give us some variety.
Yeah. Exactly. Everybody's different. People like different game modes. They might like Smash and Grab. They might like Bounty. They might like Showdown. Give people some different options. There needs to be more content, and there needs to be more explanation at the beginning of the game. And I absolutely think that's something that needs. And Supercell did mention that they are willing to work on the tutorial. So I'm excited to see what they end up doing with that. Okay, let's go ahead and finish this off with this 4th question. If you could add a new feature into Brawl Stars, what would it be? And this could be anything, right? Okay, so Epic Spooter says, I want to be able to remove or edit bots in friendly battles, especially in Showdown, as bots can get really annoying if you don't have 10 people. Also, choosing the brawler the bots are playing would be fun in addition to. Additionally, I would like to be able to have multiple players on the same team be the same character. It's just for fun and practice, so why not? What do you think about this, Lex?
Well, first of all, I would like to say, I mean, I love this question. I don't know who thought up this question, but whoever they are, they're absolutely brilliant.
Was that you, Lex? I think that was you.
Well, be that as it may. Epic Spooter. I think I've actually played Epic Spooter before. I think he beat me too. So
he's pretty good, I think.
Yeah. So in that case, I don't want to respond to his question. No. So I know I do like his.
You're still feeling butthurt a little bit.
I am. He just kind
it
of.
was a sad loss. He was playing Mortis on Heist and everything. It was awful.
Didn't work out for me. But no, I do like all of his suggestions here. I mean, of course we want to be able to remove the bots. If we don't want them there, give us the option of removing them. Choosing the bots that are playing, that would be cool too. And again, multiple players on the same team. I think what he's coming down to here is that give us more choice, give us more options, which I think is a theme that we're seeing a lot through all of this Q&A, is that one size does not fit all. So let's give us some variety.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think, Trickshot?
I agree with Lex. I definitely think that the friendly game rooms and game rooms in general could use some work like that, and they could definitely help practice for users down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, I totally agree. Let's go on and move to the next response from Demo Evolved. He says, band boxes. Event that runs each weekend. Clan members can earn vanquishes in matches. These fill a meter in the band chat panel. When the meter fills, it resets and the box gets bigger. 10 levels of box to try for increasing vanquish requirements. When time runs out, everyone that got a vanquish that weekend gets a copy of the box. Just like the Clash Royale clan box. What do you think about this, Trickshot? You play Clash Royale, right?
I play a little bit, yeah. I think that could be good. I just don't know if it should be based off eliminations, or maybe it could be based off, wins, or maybe multiple things can contribute to it that people do in Brawl Stars, so it makes every game mode very valuable. Because if you're just doing it off, how many kills you get, everyone just play Showdown for the box, I think. So
yeah.
Well,
I wouldn't. I would.
Lex
that would be
would.
How many deaths can I get?
It'd be bounty, yeah. So what I like about this, I'm a little torn on the band box or the clan chest like it is in Clash Royale, because basically what he's describing is exactly the clan chest in Clash Royale. Not that that's a bad idea. However, I don't think we need the game to be a complete regurgitation of everything else that Supercell has done. Not that it's a bad idea, but what I think that he's getting at here is that he wants more band interaction. He wants the band working as a team towards a common goal, whatever that is. I'm all for, because that's just going to increase band activity and cohesiveness within the band, and I am all for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when this was first put into Clash Royale, it was received with a ton of success, and people loved the addition, and so much that Clash of Clans actually implemented clan games into their game, which is almost exactly the same, or at least not the exact same thing, but it's
same basic idea.
Yeah, exactly, where you have a clan working together for some common goal, and I think that would add a lot of depth into Brawl Stars, especially because band activity has kind of been an issue since the very beginning of the game. Okay, so next is Ty Mej says, add a way for the community to create and submit maps. If this were a thing, maybe adding an option for people to test the maps with their band or something so that people can play on them and vote on which maps they like. Add a feature after a game is over to create a game with the strangers that you met. And then he also says, instead of having a set rotation for maps every so often, maybe just add a game mode with all of those maps in rotation, and it chooses a map when the game is found. And then finally he says, add some sort of daily quests to help keep the variety of heroes being played. Lots of different ideas right there. You want to go ahead and start that off, Lex?
Sure, yeah. I mean, that is a lot to take in all in one shot, but I'll do my best. First off, the way to add the community can create and submit maps, I would love to see that in game where we all get to create maps. Everybody gets to try them out. Maybe even like the one that gets voted on the best or gets received the best gets put in rotation for like, 1 day or, like one slot for, a short amount of time. That would be epically cool. And then the feature where you could, it's say if you're playing with randoms, and we've all played with randoms and we got in those games where like, dude, that guy was so bad, I never want to see him again. But then you also get in those times where you're like, dude, that guy was pretty good. Well, I wish I could keep playing with him. They should let us be able to do that, like, continue on, just like in, Clash Royale, where you can say, ask for, rematch or, continue on. They should have some sort of feature like that in that, A, you're going to create new friends, and B, you're going to have a better time, so why not? The set rotation for the maps, I think we all know where this guy's coming from. We all know that point in the week when you see Star Gulch and Shooting Star at the same time, and you're like, not this day.
Awful.
It's an awful time. It's like,
I guess I'm not playing Brawl Stars today.
That's it. It's like, okay, well, Either I'm going to have to grind through some horrible bounty or I'm just not playing. So I would love to see more variety in there. Variety is the spice of life. So let's mix it up and give us more rotation in the game modes. That's always a good thing. And then daily quests, I know they've talked about adding those, and they say they like the idea. So hey, that might get added in. I would sure like to see how that would all flesh out.
Yeah. Anything to add there, Trickshot?
So just like creating maps for users, and there's websites like that just come out. There's a way to share that on Reddit, and we might have some stuff down the line for best map. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything too much yet, but
on the Reddit community,
yeah,
maybe.
I'm
just kidding.
there might be something coming. I don't know. I'm not gonna give anything away, but definitely voting up maps, seeing what people like more, the most, and seeing them in game would be awesome. Definitely give a good sense of community, and also for like when the game is over and you have those two awesome teammates, that one awesome teammate, you should definitely be able to stay. Like Lex said, it's a feature in most other games where you play with randoms. You can either add them somehow, or it's not in Clash Royale yet, but I hope that'll be soon, sometime soon. Yeah, so you make a game room with someone, you can chat in that game room. You can't really do it in Clash Royale. You're kind of limited. So I think that would really expand the social features of Brawl Stars, something that we don't have right now, and that would definitely help it progress. And everything else, basically agree with what Lex said.
Yeah, I think the one feature I would just love so much is to be able to submit maps in-game, and then people to be able to play random maps that were made by other players. And like I know that that's a lot to add into the game and things like that, but I just thinking about StarCraft and how much time playing StarCraft I just spent creating maps and then playing them. In fact, I think it was in StarCraft that basically birthed the whole genre of MOBAs in the first place, by somebody just creating maps and posting on there. I'm not sure if it was StarCraft or something else. Don't quote me on that, but it was something like that. And I would love to see that added into the game. I think that'd be a blast. And then I really think you should be able to team with friends afterwards. I just think that makes a lot of sense. So.
I know I would spend so much time in game playing other people's created maps if that was
it would be so fun.
That was the thing. I would admit, I can just see the future hours of my life drifting away at the moment.
Yeah, from the posts I've seen.
I'd even spend gems too. Not that I want everybody to have to spend gems too, but I would seriously, that'd be so super fun. If you have a map idea and then you have to spend gems to submit it, well, that doesn't really make sense.
Or maybe even just you could spend gems to put a different color on certain blocks.
Wow,
I would
there
do
you
it.
go, right?
Texture
I would do it.
Right?
Yes,
Unlock
texture
different
packs.
colors. Yeah, exactly.
Give it to
if you
me.
could do stuff like that, that'd be
trying-
a blast. It would be super fun.
I'm trying to give you my money, Supercell. Let's do it.
Take my money. Oh man. Anyways, guys, we've talked about a lot of different things today. It's been a lot of fun. Is there anything that you want to add before we finish this video, Trickshot?
Not much. As always, community's doing all right now. We're gonna get through this together. We're in a tough time, but this is what has to happen to make the game better and to make it the game we're gonna play for years. So to everyone out there who's struggling or not seeing a reason for Brawl Stars to go on, I remind you, as a Reddit mod, I see your posts. No matter how good or bad they are, take some time into your posts. Think about what you're saying. If you're gonna make criticism, make it constructive. Make sure that there's some reasoning behind what you say, and it'll definitely help the game in the long run. If you and everyone else on Reddit, on YouTube, different platforms, contribute your ideas the best way that you can, and make sure that the Brawl Stars team hears them, because they do read what you say. Even if they're not commenting, they do read. Just make sure that you leave constructive feedback and make your voice heard.
Yeah, Lex, you want to add on to that?
Trickshot's a smart man. You guys should all just listen to him. But yeah, I definitely appreciate the community very much. I mean, obviously, my channel's built around you all watching my stuff. Subscribe to Lex. But no.
You'll say it on my channel, but you won't say it on your channel.
That's true. I never ask anybody to subscribe on my channel. But
but seriously, guys, you should go subscribe to his channel.
But seriously, just click that button. No, I'm kidding. No, I do appreciate everybody in the community, and I'm on Reddit a lot, and I see a lot of those posts as well, and some of them are really great, some really good ideas. So just keep on keeping on. Let's push this whole thing together with each other.
Yeah, I just want to echo on to that, because I love seeing the passion that all of the community has for this. People are clearly emotional about this update that's going on right now, and it's because They love the game so much, and I just wanted to thank all of you for being so passionate about it, because if you continue that constructive feedback passionately, then the Brawl Stars team is going to see it, and we're going to be able to get into the next step of Brawl Stars, which honestly I think has a great potential for being even the best version that Brawl Stars ever has been and ever will be. Hey, Lex and Trickshot, thank you guys for jumping onto this today. It's been a real blast having you guys here.
Yeah, glad to be here. Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for having me. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much to you, community. And for now, this is Lex, Trickshot, and KairosTime ticking by, and we will see you in the arena.